financial problems, elder law, criminal law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by THAV GROSS. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic is elders. Pat, how much can you afford to lose? Pat Simasco.
I'm feeling older every day. Hi, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Good. Brian Small.
Good morning. I do believe that you're the elder here at the table.
Senior
not
statesman.
Pat.
Well, I just took a shot. Jeffrey Kirshner.
Hi, good morning. I feel like I have my snuggle bunnies here today. So nice.
Jeffrey Linden.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Jeff, Brian, Pat. Okay. So,
Yeah,
Pat, this is kind of like a show for you, kind of. Elders,
was
how
that
much
part of your
can you
memory
lose?
Exercise.
exercises at the old folks home?
Reverse the names after you go for them. Yes, thank you. It's and you take those pills.
Do you
but
remember?
I can't remember what they're
I
called.
was going to say,
Viagra.
remember there's a
For
word.
memory?
There'll be a word at the end of the filming that you'll have to remember. We'll see if you remember it.
There will be.
There could be.
I don't know what we were talking about.
Well, that's too bad. See, it's already dementia's already setting in.
So what do we mean by how much can you afford to lose? What's losing?
Well, there's all sorts of things that will take your money, whether it's interest on credit card debt, which we love to hear you guys talk about, or probate fees or attorney fees that are wasted, taxes. Big thing that we deal with in the elder law world is you saved your whole life and now you have to go in the nursing home and you're going to lose it from there. So our job is to protect that. And people think, well, Medicare is going to pay it. I have health insurance. I have Blue Cross. They never pay for the long-term care stuff.
If you go into the nursing home, what's the expense and how long is it usually?
Average right now, it just was published as $10,000 a month, and the average stay is about 32 months. We have them a lot longer.
So
I was going to say that's the average. There's some people
That's
that are in there a
320,000.
lot longer.
Yeah. The weird thing is, nobody wants to go to the nursing home, right?
I'm not going.
You're not. You have a plan. I'm not going. But a third of us will be in the nursing home.
I have the plan. You mentioned that little pill. I have that little pill that's tucked underneath my tooth that I saw in the movies, that all I have to do is once I get to a certain state, it will release.
What he
The
doesn't
problem-
recognize is that
I will
he
not
won't
be around
remember
anymore.
what
That's the
pill is there.
problem. The chances
Can't
of
remember which tooth.
The weird thing is the chances of us going into a nursing home is a lot less. Why? Because we have a spouse at home that's going to take care of us. But if one spouse passes away, if I die, my wife's single, and my kids are working, they may not be able to take care of the mom at that point. So there's a bigger chance that she would have to go in the nursing home.
The question I have is, as we've gotten older as a generations have been healthier, so to speak, or kept alive.
Kept
better,
alive.
Does
better.
that increase or decrease the chance of
Does
the nursing home?
Doesn't the advent of the memory loss and dementia seem to be coming more and more into play? And that would be where people
that's a
really
good-
can't take care of their relatives
They just
that
announced a
have
new
that
drug
dementia.
for dementia.
Yeah.
It'd be great, but they're so far behind the time.
So it's $24,000 a year. I was watching the news on it.
Yeah. Well,
it should be.
what we've seen
ridiculous.
is there isn't any more old people illnesses. My father-in-law had Alzheimer's at 54. My dad had a horrible stroke at 61, and my grandma at 98. All three were in the nursing home at the exact same time. So you don't know. So
the question is there, with the improvements in medicine in keeping you healthy, does that keep you alive longer if you have good medical care, but increase your chance of the need for a nursing home stay at the end stage?
yeah, it does, because when you see healthier, it just means alive.
Physically, yeah.
it means you're physically alive, but it doesn't mean you're necessary. You can be the greatest physical person in shape, but mentally don't know how to tie your shoes.
And then I suppose at the end of the day, even if you're mentally aware, if you get to 98, 99 and you're physically falling apart, you're still in the nurse. Are you in the? You're probably a nursing home candidate then too.
You are, but it's a lot easier to take someone that's mentally sharp but physically bad. Like people with cancer, they typically don't go to the nursing homes. They can respite at home. But if you have dementia at 65 and you're pooping your pants and you're pooping the bed and you're walking out the front door and you're going to get run over by a car, you're going to have to go to the nursing home.
All right, so how do you use Medicaid and elder law planning?
Yeah.
What's the goal? To get the government to cover the cost or part of the cost?
Yes, exactly.
How do you do that?
Well, you have to protect your assets. So people think, well, I have Medicare. Everybody gets Medicare when they turn 65. But Medicare pays for hospital and rehab stay no more than 100 days. After that, it's $10,000 a month until you get Medicaid qualified. So our job is to get you Medicaid qualified.
So in the circumstance where mom or dad goes into rehab from the hospital, they fall. They're in the hospital. They're there for 4 or 5 days. They're then discharged to a nursing care facility for quote-unquote rehab.
Mm-hmm.
That Medicare's paying.
You're right.
For up to 100 days?
Yeah, Medicare.
If they actively rehab.
Yeah, Medicare coordinate with Blue Cross or HAP or Humana, something like that.
And then at the end of that 100 days, or if you don't rehab,
Medicaid.
you have to pay.
Either you're going home. People say, oh, we got kicked out of the nursing home. No, you got discharged from Medicare, and then if you go home, great. But if you have to stay in longer, we want Medicaid to pay the nursing home. People say, oh, Medicaid nursing homes are horrible. They're the same nursing home.
Same home.
Same nursing home.
Same beds.
Same bed, same pillow, same beautiful dining experience on. If it was better care, we would want a private pay, but it's the exact same care. Honest to God, the kids do not want mom and dad's money. They would rather spend all the money to take care of mom and dad, but we also don't want to waste it. The bigger problem is you take care of spending all the money to take care of dad in their nursing home. There ain't any money left over for mom.
That's a big problem.
That is a big, big deal.
All right, so let's take a break. When we come back, can you kind of walk us through the mechanics of it?
Sure.
Are you in financial crisis? Do you owe too much credit card debt? Are you behind in your mortgage? Do you owe the tax man? These are the problems that many people face. Solutions exist. If you want to know what they are, come to our free seminar on March 8th in our offices in Bingham Farms. Sign up at thavgross.com or call us today at 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. And take your first step to a fresh start today.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP.
I was married for 57 years before my husband died.
Simasco Law had established a trust for them before this happened.
There's so much to do in the beginning, but after about a month, you're kind of alone.
We deal with estate planning and trusts every day.
If you continue to have good support and know that your finances and your estate is in order, that's one thing that's so comforting. I would just highly recommend Simasco Law.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
It's a new year, full of hope. With hope comes the reminder that you need to protect your future and the future of your loved ones. THAV GROSS is holding a free estate planning seminar April 19th in our offices in Bingham Farms. We will discuss the importance of having a will, a trust, and powers of attorney. And yes, it's absolutely free. You need to protect yourself and avoid the probate of your assets when you pass away. To sign up, call us today at 888-235-HELP or sign up at thavgross.com.
All right, so Pat, we were talking, I get it. You've got the problem of mom or dad needs the nursing home, when it could be, and we could be mom or dad for that matter. It's $10,000 a month, 32-month average stay.
Yeah.
How do you make it work so that the burden of the financial burden is shifted
Well,
away
let's
from
ask
you?
the question here. How many people sitting at this table has a mom or dad that had to go in the nursing home or may have to go in the nursing home? I had
Well, possibly.
three.
I had one.
Two. You yet?
Not yet.
Not
but
yet.
I
Are they
know.
still with us?
My mom isn't. My dad is.
Okay, so your dad's a single guy. Do you have mom and dad?
My mom.
Mom, single
doing okay,
person?
yeah.
So there's a difference between married couples and single people. For Medicaid purposes, it's called the Spousal Impoverishment Act. Medicaid says that if you are a married couple and someone's in the nursing home, we don't want to spend all the money for the person in
The
the
other
nursing home,
spouse.
and now someone has to live in a cardboard box. But what the rules are, when you're a married couple, we can protect it all with Medicaid planning. And the most important
What do you
document,
mean all? All
if
your
they
assets,
have
all your money?
100,000, 200, what's immediately protected is the house and about 140,000, roughly speaking. So if you have 200,000, 300,000, but the weird thing is it's half of the money up to 140,000. So if you have 300,000, 140,000 is protected. If all you have is 140,000, 70,000. If you have
So that's not very
70,000,
good.
only 35 is protected.
So that's the easy.
Well, it's easy, but the rules are BS because they're antiquated. Jeff asked the
but you
question.
can protect the other 70, is what
yes,
you're saying.
or
Okay.
170, or 200, or 400 with
So
the
if
Medicaid plan.
I've got $700,000 in the bank, and I've got Social Security coming in for me,
Married couple or single?
married couple,
Yep,
and I have to go into the nursing home. You
Yep.
can protect it all?
every time. Now the chance of it happening again is because Bonnie's going to be there to take care of you, right? She's not going to let you go in the nursing home. You're going to have everything.
She's going to drive him.
No, she won't. She might. I'm going to
drop
tell
him
you.
off.
The funny thing
He
is,
may not even get to
If
the
I'm
door.
gonna tell you-
if I remember the codes and the passwords, then she's going to take care of me. If
Yeah.
I can't remember the passwords to not tell her the passwords, then I'm going into the nursing home.
I'm going to tell you, in our office, what we've found, it's a lot harder for the husband to put the wife in the nursing home than it is the wife to put the husband in the nursing home.
Psychologically?
Yeah, the husband will spend every dime of the money to keep mom at home. He will absolutely, they will go broke taking care of
You
mom
hear
at
that,
home.
honey?
Yeah, it's the same.
Now, I know that we haven't got we're trying to plan.
Even when mom's not doing the laundry?
Even when mom's not doing the laundry. Yeah, because we'll wear the same crap every day.
Just to
Not
point
me.
out that if you are,
No
if
way.
you're watching this, and you're saying, well, how else can I prepare? Before we get to the part where we're figuring out how to protect the money, long-term care insurance is a very viable resource to help keep you in the home.
What's your view on that?
I'm a long-term care insurance salesman. I've never sold one policy because we can protect it legally. The trouble is with a long-term care, it's fantastic, but if
You're
you don't
paying for it.
use it, you lose it. and it's expensive. So, and that's the weird thing is,
'Cause
you
that-
know
I've always wrestled
why
with
don't
that.
you have it? Why don't you have it?
I don't have it
Because you perceive
because I've met you,
no,
and I'm convinced that I don't need it because I have another
that's not
plan.
why.
Why not?
Because you're never going to the nursing home. I don't need it because I'm never going into the nursing home. So that cost doesn't equate the need for it.
Yes, there's truth to that, but
And that's everybody
but I've
out there.
transcended. I've actually transcended
Now-
beyond that. I've looked at it, and guys I know
Now-
have come to me and said, "Do I want to buy it?" And I've said to myself, "I can afford it," but then I said to myself, on the flip side, if this contingency happens, which I don't want to happen, I can go to Pat
Correct.
and cover it that way.
But even if you wanted it, now you're getting a little long in
It's
the
expensive.
tooth. It's
Yeah.
way more expensive. When's the best time to buy house fire insurance? The day before the house catches on
Before
fire.
the fire.
Now, has anybody's house burned up here? No, but everybody's got that insurance, right? So it's the planning. So luckily with married couples, we can protect it. Dad dies, mom's at home. Single people, I need 5 years to protect it.
well, that's what I wanted to ask.
That's
All
where we're
I'm,
at now.
I'm widowed.
Yes.
Okay, now what do you do?
Well, let's talk about these guys. Your mom, your dad passed away.
Right.
We need 5 years to protect the money. Now, everybody here knows that we need a revocable trust to protect from probate. Everybody has a revocable trust. We went to the seminars, but everybody thinks that's the tool that protects every asset under the sun. It's the irrevocable trust that protects money from the nursing home, not the revocable trust. And to do that, to protect your assets, and Medicaid allows us to do it, but how many years do we need to protect it?
5 years.
5 years. So why is Jeff sitting here, the Social Security expert? Is because if you have a disabled daughter or son, we can use that disabled child to protect the money immediately from the nursing home.
So
we
if you
don't need the 5 years.
So if you don't have
period.
the 5 years, but you have a disabled child, but if you don't have a disabled child,
we need the 5 years.
Well, what's the definition of a disabled child?
Social Security disabled. It has to be qualified through Social Security disability.
What if-
Not I can't work. It's you have to have that award letter that Jeff can get you from disability.
So,
but that's not that frequent of a thing, right?
it's more frequent
what
than you
about
imagine.
if you had a child who's receiving SSI?
That's well, it still
Still
works.
disabled.
It still works, but SSD, Social Security disability. I worked my whole life. I broke my back. I can't work. Now you're just getting your retirement Social Security early.
So
SSI, I never worked. I'm on cerebral palsy or Down syndrome. I never worked. That's a form of a welfare Social Security, so it's different. They look at your
But aren't they
asset.
both disabled though?
They're both
So they're
disabled.
both disability benefits under Social
It
Security.
is, but if you give money to a disabled child that they don't look at the assets, it works perfect. The other way, it's out of the frying pan into the fire.
But what are you doing? You're taking the money, putting it into an irrevocable. We'll do it after the break.
We'll
but
do
you're
it
putting
after
the money
the
into an
break.
irrevocable trust for the disabled child.
It's a new year, full of hope. With hope comes the reminder that you need to protect your future and the future of your loved ones. THAV GROSS is holding a free estate planning seminar April 19th in our offices in Bingham Farms. We will discuss the importance of having a will, a trust, and powers of attorney. And yes, it's absolutely free. You need to protect yourself and avoid the probate of your assets when you pass away. To sign up, call us today at 888-235-HELP or sign up at thavgross.com.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Time for announcements. We've got free seminars coming up. On March 8th, 6 to 7:30 p.m., how to make credit card debt go away. We're going to go over THAV GROSS's debt resolution program. This is not debt settlement. This is our special program that's a 24-month program designed to eliminate credit card debt. It's a solution without bankruptcy. We'll also talk about when bankruptcy is the right solution for you, how both systems work, how and why we can do it within 24 months, where everyone else says it's a 4-year program. Attendees receive a free copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Call 888-235-HELP, 888-235-HELP, or register online at thavgross.com or lawandreality.com. On Wednesday, April 19th, 6 to 7:30 p.m., we all need an estate plan. Key elements of a plan, what you need to know and address, how to avoid probate, how to protect your family. Attendees receive a gold certificate for $300 off the cost of any plan. Call 888-235-HELP, 888-235-HELP, or register online at lawandreality.com. Remember, you can always come in for a free consultation. We still do them via tele or Zoom conference if you like, but by all means, we're doing them in office. This is the post-COVID world. Just call 888-235-HELP or go online and sign up. Debt issues, tax issues, estate planning issues, business law issues, elder law issues with Pat, disability issues with Jeff. Again, just sign up lawandreality.com or call 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Also, go to our website to get the free reports, Resolving Tax Problems, The Real Solutions by Jeff Linden and myself, Bankruptcy Is It Right for Me by Brian, How to Save Your Home from Foreclosure, Business Formations, Loans and Grants for Small Businesses in Detroit and Michigan, and Pat's Retiree's Guide to Social Security. I want to thank our sponsors, THAV GROSS, Simaska Law, Kirshner Law. Now back to the show.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP. Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Are you in financial crisis? Do you owe too much credit card debt? Are you behind in your mortgage? Do you owe the tax man? These are the problems that many people face. Solutions exist. If you want to know what they are, come to our free seminar on March 8th in our offices in Bingham Farms. Sign up at thavgross.com or call us today at 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. And take your first step to a fresh start today.
All right, so I have a disabled child. We have only a single adult left. We don't want to wait the 5 years. How do you make this work? You're going to put all the money in a irrevocable trust?
That's the thing. So mom passes away. She wants everything to go to the 3 kids. On the irrevocable trust, it says mom passed away, everything goes to the 3 kids. So it's the same beneficiaries. We need the kid to watch over the money in the irrevocable trust. So if it goes from mom to the irrevocable trust directly, there's a 5-year look back. We have to keep mom out of the nursing home for 5 years. But if she has a disabled child, and you can roll the money through the disabled child's name, Medicaid says you only need to have it in his name for literally 1 second. And then it's protected.
So you transfer it to the disabled kid,
and then he
transfers
puts it in the trust, and it immediately protects it from the nursing home.
Wow, it's a big loophole.
It's a bit. Well, it's not, it's the law.
You don't like the word.
It's
loophole.
the law. Just like if you file for Chapter 13 at 1159, you can save the house from foreclosure.
Correct.
But 1201, you can't.
So you're transferring the money to the disabled kid, then
Right.
you transfer from the disabled kid into an irrevocable trust?
Yes.
Or could you make it a revocable trust at that point?
Well, there are a lot of reasons why we want to use it, and that can be another show.
Well, how do you change it from an irrevocable trust to revocable trust? And is the disabled kid is the beneficiary of that trust,
He's
not
one
the
of
trustee,
the beneficiaries. Right? He's one of the. He can be So the idea is you have the revocable trust bank account, and you have a new account in the name of the irrevocable trust. If you take it out of mom revocable to mom irrevocable, 5-year look back. If it goes mom
kid
to Ken disabled to trust immediately protected. But now, why are you here? Because what if the kid has a bunch of credit card issues? Why is Jeff here? What if the guy has a bunch of tax issues? why is Jeff here? What type of Social
Because he's got a
Security is
kid
on?
disabled.
Well, what type of Social Security? There's a type of Social Security that they look at his assets. He can only have $2,000
Wait.
in the bank.
Why am I here?
Ken, because you're sent out the email that said, because you're the old guy that's going to be needing nursing home.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's a different expertise that you have to talk about. That it's not. It's an easy plan when it works. Why am I here, the financial guy? Because I know how to roll it through to protect it.
Yeah, I mean, literally, what you could have to do is take the individual who's on disability, who's going to be receiving the benefit of Pat's plan, and put him in a bankruptcy to discharge and eliminate his
Any other
debt,
debts.
or
If
get rid,
that
or do
happened,
debt resolution, do whatever you need to do to get rid of his debts. You may have to go.
And then put the money into him.
You may
But you're
even
only going
have
to
to-
put it to him for a short period of period.
Yeah. In and
For a
out.
day.
But you
Yeah.
also may have to go to Jeff and say, this person needs to apply for Social Security disability.
Well, that has
or
to happen first.
We actually did. We had one case where mom was in the nursing. We protected it all, and then dad's a single person after mom died, and the one son, very, very, very bad shape. But he never became disabled. So I talked to Jeff and said, "Hey, Jeff, can we help this family out?" So we got him disabled, and then we rolled the money through his name,
Got him
and
qualified
we protected.
as
Yeah.
disabled.
Well,
He
we
was
got him
disabled.
qualified.
Found
Well,
to be
but let me
disabled.
ask-
we didn't throw him down the
we
steps.
took a
right?
couple of baseball
We didn't throw him down.
We only have a minute
Got
and a
him-
half left.
made him
Let me ask
disabled.
the question. We don't have the disabled child.
Then we need 5 years.
There's nothing you can do without
Well,
5
there's other
years?
techniques.
So
You can
what-
pay off the mortgage.
What do
You-
we do? We don't have 5 years. I'm widowed and I need the nursing home. Do I still come to you to do something?
Yeah, I can always protect half of the money. I can always protect the house. I can always protect the car. I can always protect half the money. So there's a $35,000 mortgage on the house, pay it off. There's a lease on the car,
So-
pay off the lease.
Got it. So
There's
my
$100 grand
point
left.
is, don't take the takeaway here is if you don't have the 5 years, don't say I'm screwed. Let's not bother calling Pat. Still call Pat because there's still things to do.
Yeah.
But if you have the 5 years, that's the optimal way of saving it all. And if you don't have the 5 years, if you have a disabled child, you can save it all.
I've heard it from Brian and Mil- each individualized plan is for the individual.
No, only Brian can
The
say
problem is individual to the individual, and the solution is individual
There you
to
go.
the individual.
So,
The bummer here is that should have been the closing line, and we've got another 15 seconds.
but here's the close line. Jeff,
Yeah.
mom, your mom and dad or mom?
Dad's left.
Dad. Well, here, married couple, marry his mom. Have your dad marry his mom. We can protect it all.
Well, you
And on
don't
that
want to
note-
be related to me?
Say goodbye to all. Have a great week. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality.